been a while since my last video. It's 2026, and this will be my first video for the year. And of course, uh, what's best to start off the year with an update of what my current workflow is, in terms of how I build things with AI. Right. So let's start with with the old ways, things that we do to develop with AI, which is the using the AI pair programming methods. And if you notice, at this point, we only use AI when it comes to what doing coding, basically replacing the phase of doing coding, while the rest, uh, still being done manually. So what I've been doing since the last few months is I've changed to a proper context engineering workflow where I bring AI to all phases of software development. That means, I brainstorm with AI, I do spec, product spec or module spec with AI, and then using that spec, I ask AI to generate the detailed plan for it, and then using that detailed plan, after all the reviews, then I ask AI to code, and then ask AI to review the codes, actually using the different AI to review the codes, and then I review it myself, and then the process continues, right? So when we ask AI to actually do things for us, like in all phases of development, that means one thing that you're going to lose is control. So in order to basically uh, be or stay in control, there are two things we need to embed into our workflow, so that the AI, so that we know the AI will produce an output that follows what we expect or what we want. So first is to set up the how. So the how basically is embedded into the agent rule. If you're using cursor, then there will be the cursor rule, or if you're using a Codex CLI, it will be agent MD, or using Cloud Code, it will be a Cloud MD. So what do you put in that file? For me personally, I put almost everything I can think of, so that the AI will develop application according to my style. So I will mandate the tech stack, the architecture rules, the project structure, how I want the project to be scaffolded, the feature delivery workflow, basically how data pipelines are being set up. The Since AI is doing it, so you can't be lazy with testing as well. So always do test-driven development when you're doing things with AI. So testing policy, you need to put in there. Database rule, of course, how you want AI to handle error, and then what is the definition of done, so that when AI think that it's done with a certain task, it will still need to follow a certain checklist to uh, basically tell us that they are done, right? And then of course everything else related to the documentation, and then also the environment and the config, where we want AI to put all these things in, right? So that's the how you want AI to follow. Now is the what. So I have a documentation workflow and development uh, basically workflow as well, uh, that I follow to ensure that the output of the AI will be exactly how I want it to be. So having said that, I will start from an idea. Doesn't matter whether it's a product or a module, and I will brain dump basically an idea to an AI, asking AI to produce a product concept or product idea document. And this will I will ask AI to put it into a certain folder. I have this folder basically structured so that I know where things are. So the ideas and the concept drafts will be in the draft folder. Then I will review until I'm satisfied. Only then I will ask AI to take this idea, doc, and turn it into a full spec, which I expect to have at least these four sections: the functional requirement, the full schema, API contracts, and the acceptance criteria, where this will be stored in the spec folder. Then I will review until I'm satisfied with that document. Only then I will break it if needed to be break down. If this is already a module, then I don't have to break it down. I can just skip to do a detailed plan. But if this is an app that has modules, then I will ask it to break it down into a scope spec, basically a module breakdown, where each of these breakdowns will have an additional section, which is the module boundaries, the functional requirement subset. This will have a very general functional requirement for a particular module, but here we will detail down some more, and we also have validation, edge cases, and all the stuff, because this is where we are going to turn after we review and finalize. Because we will turn this scope spec for each of the module into a detailed plan. A detailed plan is basically a step-by-step, one unit of action um, item that will list out so that AI will follow and execute. So when AI develop this detailed plan for this scope spec, and we review it to be satisfactory, then we will then I'll usually fit this into the AI to only then to generate the code. So if you notice that this is definitely not vibe coding, and this is also, they call it context engineering workflow. And this, for software developers, this is basically how you do things. And if you think web coding is the right way to do it, then basically that's wrong, right? And if you notice, if you are to do things this way, then only software developers can actually follow this workflow. Because if you notice that we are breaking into the proper software engineering, like knowing what the schema, what the API contracts, what's the acceptance criteria, what's the boundaries, validation, edge cases. This is definitely not for anybody, for everybody. Okay, so when we finally execute the detailed plan, then we expect two documents to be generated by AI. One is the implementation document, which is normally a code completion report. So what did the AI do, and where did it put it, so that we can review later. And also whatever that test that the AI did and run, and the result of it will also be generated and stored in the evidence folder. And then after that, we will review, and if there's anything problematic in this phase, then we'll ask to basically generate a plan for that fix, and then go back to do code execution and repeat until it's done. And then when that module is done, tested, working, only then we go towards the second, the next scope spec, and do everything all over again until the whole app is completed. Okay, so I have basically decided to show, or not decided to demo one execution of this whole implementation workflow, or more like a development workflow. And I have drafted an app that I want to showcase. Basically, the idea is is an invoice, and then it will be able to ingest it, extract the mandatory or more like a specific information from it, and then we will build something to confirm, where we have the PDF side by side, so that we can see that whatever extracted is actually coming from the PDF. Then we can save, and then we can do a search, so that we can find the data that we saved just now. And then we can basically view or export to a certain file, for example. So I have brain dump this idea with AI. So basically, brain dumping is just knowing what you want to build in general, and just brain dumping it. So we need to search invoice again, blah blah blah, and then we also need to have the things to be viewed side by side. Just write it out all down, and then specify what kind of methods you are going to use for example, for reading and doing the OCR of the PDF. And then when you have this brain dump, so called, then you run the idea concept prompt on it to produce the product idea. So that's the idea, right? So when you have this product idea, you read it, and you're satisfied with the general direction of this product concept or product idea, then you can run the second one, which is the uh, full spec, basically turning that product idea into a full spec document. And this is where we got the second document, which is a full spec document. basically saying all the functional requirements that we are going to follow, and then the proposed data schema, and then the API contracts, and also the acceptance criteria, basically at the bottom lah. Right. Okay, so that's done. So we have the product idea, we have the full spec. Now we need to break this into uh, basic modules. So I've also asked to suggest or recommend how to break this full spec document to modules. So it's suggested to break it into like 7 modules, which is ingestion, extraction, review and confirmation, and the rest. So let's continue with this so that we can actually uh, so that I can show you how uh, I create the scope spec, scope full spec, next. I mean, in the meantime, let me just run another one. We can actually scaffold this project. So let me just do that with Claude. Let me update Claude first. And what we want Claude to do is basically to scaffold this project. So I also have the prompt for scaffolding. So create, oh, basically follow the scaffolding project. Scaffolding project prompt and save the plan in basically the draft folder. All right, that's that. So Claude is doing that while Codex is now ready. So okay, so what I will do is we're gonna break the full spec. I have the scope spec prompt, so let me just copy that. Okay, target module name and notes. Okay, so just run that first. Right, so app full spec. So app full spec is app full spec is, and then we link it, the full spec. This one, and and the target module name is target module name is the full spec and the wireless to ingestion. Okay, so while it's doing that, let's see what if crowd code is completed. Yes. Okay, so it save the plan in the draft folder. Please. Okay, let's just clear, and then proceed to implement the scaffold 2026 plan step by step, following the execution systematically. Right. Now it's going to start scaffolding the project. So let's just close that, and then okay, so ingestion module for this reach to the user. Right, so this is going to be the first one. So this save this scope spec in specs. Okay, let's save it first, and then let's see. All right, so there's that. Right, so what is missing here is the statement that for now there is no user, more like author. No login. It's okay, it's done. Right, scaffold complete, code created. Documentation, scaffold done. Okay, right. Okay, so this one is invoice. Okay, and then this one. Okay, so let's see. Okay, was 1,000. Okay, so status okay. So, all right. All right, so first page is done. It's gonna be it. Anyway. So that's done. Public mode. Application user. Scope spec. With that, let's look at the planning, detail plan prompt. Basically, we are going to take module scope spec and then we turn it into a detailed implementation plan. Okay, use this instead. Right, so this one we're going to use do implementation plan. So, all right. Is it cooking? No, not yet. Okay. All right, so I just link it to the scope spec ingestion and save the detail plan in 40. The heck, 40 dash plan. Why would it, come up? Anyway, 40 plans. Okay, let's see. Get the detail and updated manifest. Okay, so 6 slice, 86 checks this item. Okay, so one thing you can do is sometimes the AI actually do something that's not exactly your expectation, and you don't understand some of the things that it's trying to do. So you can actually ask it to explain to you. For example, okay, so you can basically ask simple question like I don't really get the flow of this app when this implementation plan is executed. And you in plain language explain how the app works just on this particular module. Like, what happened when I launch the app, what do I see, where do I upload, things like that. What happened when I upload, etc, etc, just like that. And you will see that AI can actually explain to you in the more simple explanation if that's necessary. So it's not going to be hard coded. All right, so it says here, then use upload PDF, save to this, record in DB, and then it will trigger a document uploaded. And then the extraction module will take over, and it will just listen to signal and read the PDF and extract. So that will be the next module. I'm used to having both Cloud Code and Codex CLI running because I trusted both of them. So that's why I can switch between two of these. Right, so I need to get the CRF issue. Can you try and come in? Let that work first. Okay, in the meantime, let's see what's going on here. Right, the tab is completed. Uploading text file. I thought text file is not part of the. Let me see. Right, so we do have the implementation plan now, but it's dangerous to run it now because we know that the other guy is trying to commit. We have a prompt for execution, so let's actually run this instead. Become the execution agent, detail implementation plan, anything. Okay, so to save some token, let's run this with Codex instead. Right, let's just link it to plans ingestion, this one. All right, now we wait until it's completed. All right, it looks like it's the end of this development stage, or more like a coding stage. So let's let this thing finish first, and then we'll try and run. In the meantime, if you notice, it has already created the completion report and mentioned that the invoice document, which is the ingestion module, is completed, and it has a minimal stub for extraction, and the extraction module will continue to the extent. It's going to use a local file storage for document storage, no external object store yet. I don't think we're going to do that. For now, it's going to be all local. And it's also created the evidence report where all the the test file runs result is being documented. So test sorry like 46 test or unit complete test has been created and run. 2 end-to-end and 7 view tests. That's a lot of tests, but I guess this is good. That means you don't have to worry about if the app is actually producing the correct code structure, because the test will basically tell you whether it's correct or not. Anyway, we can still go manually into the code if you want. So if you notice, it's already have created the view file for this for ingestion. So all the routers are here. And if you notice, the routers are using dependency injection. just for connection with DB, and all the services is also imported into the view file, which is what we want. This is good structure, yeah. So everything is marked as done. So let's try and run it. Okay, so I think it's already refreshed because we're running in the reload mode. Okay, so let's see. Right, so upload home and documents. So upload invoice, view documents. Okay, so let's upload. Anyway, let's try just click the browse first. Choose upload. Okay, one is successful, and then successful with the list. Only one. Okay, so the drop file doesn't work, so I need to fix that. Anyway, that's not really the point. The point is it's working as intended. Even it actually do a PDF view here where we can do during the extraction, we can actually show what is extracted against what is actually in the file so that we will be confident about what is actually extracted or what's properly extracted from the file. Okay, so coming back to the steps, you can see that we have actually done the concept document, the review. When we did, then also we did a full spec document, we reviewed it. We broke it down into a scope spec, which is actually just for ingestion module. We reviewed it and we create a detailed plan, reviewed it and we execute it. And it actually created two files, which is the implementation or the more like the completion report file and also the evidence file, which is all the tests run by the AI, which is successful, which is this file. Yep, 41 pass, 2 pass, 7 pass. Okay, with that, I think you can see how I set up my workflow for 2026 and beyond. So honestly, I think this is basically the current best method that I can actually execute right now. Uh, and hopefully when there's anything new, then I can update you guys. Right. So with that, I hope you actually learned something today. And if anything, just write a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Right. Peace.